Hi there, welcome to another video from Hegarty Maths. In this video we're going to solve simultaneous equations using straight lines. Right, I want you to start by, on this grid here, drawing the equation with straight line y equals 2x subtract 3. Pause the video and have a go. Well, this is in the form y equals mx plus c. Our m, or our gradient, is 2. Our y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 3. So if I was drawing this, I would start at 0, negative 3 here. Gradient 2 means across to the right one, up 2, across to the right one, and up 2, etc. And I've got enough points to draw my straight line, and it would look something like that. That would be the equation y is equal to 2x subtract 3. Now, what about if someone asked you to draw this one? Now, I want to give you a helpful tip. Obviously, you could rearrange it to put it in the form y equals mx plus c, and you could draw it from that. But there's a nice little way that you can do this, nice and easy. All you need to draw a straight line is 2 points. So what you do is you can say to yourself, imagine x was 0. When x is 0 in here, what is y? So if x was 0, then 6x would be 0, wouldn't it? That would just disappear. And 3y would be 12. Dividing both sides by 3, you would get that y is equal to 4. So you know the graph goes through 0, 4. That's its y-intercept. Now similarly, what you could do is you could state, on the other hand, imagine if y was 0. So 3y then would be 0. You'd have 6x being 2. Divide both sides by 6, and you'd have x is 2. So you know that the graph goes through 2, 0. And they're the 2 points you could use to draw that. You could mark in 0, 4 here, you could mark in 2, 0 here, and that's enough to draw your straight line. It's just a little tip when equations are in the form ax plus by is equal to a number. I think it's easier to make x be 0, find what y is to match that, make y be 0, find what x is to match that. You've got 2 points, draw the straight line. Now when we do this, that's a quick way to draw that graph, and we've done it there. And I'm going to use that throughout this video. Now the next thing I want you to remember is, do you remember how to solve the following pairs of simultaneous equations algebraically? Pause the video and double check you can do that. So you need to look back at your building blocks. If you're not sure how to do this, you would label them 1 or 2, substitute 1 into 2, use the technique of substitution, and you would find that x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 7 is the answer. Now this particular skill is about solving simultaneous equations using the graph, not the algebra. And I'm going to start by trying to solve this one where we know the answer, so I can show you that with graphs it works the same as with algebra. So let's go and do that. If I drew the lines y equals 5x add 2, and I drew the lines y equals 2x add 5, hopefully their intersection will be the same as what the algebra gives us here. So pause the video and try and draw those two graphs. This has a gradient of 5 and a y-intercept of 0, 2. This has a gradient of 2 and a y-intercept of 0, 5. Let's plot them. So this one here, starting with this one, start at 0, 2. As I go across 1, I go up 5. And so if I go back 1, I go down 5. That's y equals 5x add 2. Let's do the other one as well. So let's start at 0, 5 here. Gradient of 2, cross 1 up 2, cross 1 up, across 1 up 2, and back 1 down 2. There you go. That's the equation y equals 2x add 5. Now where do they cross? It looks like they're crossing here, and if you look closely, that's crossing at the coordinates 1, 7, i.e. x is 1 and y is equal to 7. And hey, look back here, that's exactly what we got when we did algebra. So we can draw the straight lines, see where they intersect, and that will solve the simultaneous equations for us. Now, normally the straight lines would be drawn for you, and you just use them to solve the simultaneous equations, because to draw the straight lines and find the intersection is probably harder than using algebra. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to draw them as well, just to give you some extra practice doing that skill. So let's do another one. Draw both these lines and find the coordinates of their intersection. This has gradient 5, this has y-intercept 0, negative 2, this has gradient 2 and y-intercept 0, 1. Let's draw them up. So this one here, start at here, and we're going to go, as we go to the right one, we're going to go up 5, we're going to go to the right one, and we're going to go up 5. They're 3 of our points, and I'm going to label that in now and draw the line at the end. 5x subtract 2. Let's do the other one. This is going to start at 0, 1 here. As I go across 1, I go up 2. As I go across 1, I go up 2. You can even see where they're intersecting already. So let's draw this straight line in there for that one. Let's draw this straight line in here for that one. And we can see this straight line here is the graph y equals 2x add 1. And we can see here that where they intersect is at 1, 3. So if we were solving these simultaneous equations just by the graph, we could say that x is 1 and y is 3 is the answer. And let's see if it's true. If I put x is 1 in here, 5 times 1 is 5, take away 2 is 3, it works there. 2 times 1 is 2, add 1 is 3, works there. And they're the solutions to the simultaneous equations. Let's do another one. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, now if I was drawing this one, what I'm going to do is, remember, I'm just going to write it below. To rearrange that in the form y equals mx plus c is a bit of a pain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to imagine, firstly, that x was equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, 3y is 12. Divided by 3, y would be 4. So I know it goes through x is 0, y is 4, 0, 4. And similarly, I could work out what x is when y is 0. If y was equal to 0, 6x is 12, x would be equal to 2. So it goes through 2, 0. So I've quickly found 2 points that graph goes through. It goes through 0, 4, and it goes through 2, 0. That's all I need to draw my straight line. 6x add 3y is equal to 12. Now the other one's in the form y equals mx plus c, where m is equal to 3 and c is negative 6. So we may as well do the normal way. Start here, and as I go across 1, I go up 3. As I go across 1, I go up 3. We can see where they're intersecting already. And the solution is here, and the solution is at 2, 0. So the solution is x is equal to 2, y is equal to 0. Let's check that that is a solution to these equations. Put in 2 here. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times 0 is 0. 12 add 0 is 12. It works there. Put it in up here. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 take away 6 is 0. It works here, and we're done. Pause the video and have a go at these ones. Neither in the form y equals mx plus c. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use the technique of making x 0. When x is 0, y is 6. So I know it goes through 0, 6. And this time, when y is 0, 4x is 6. So this one here, when y is 0, I divide by 4, I would get myself 6 over 4, which simplifies to 3 over 2, 1.5. Let's do the same here. When x is equal to 0, I will get myself 3y is 12, so I would get y is 4. And here, when y is 0, we would get ourselves 6x being 12, so we would get ourselves 2, 0. So 0, 6 for the first one, and 3 over 2, 0. So 1.5 is there. Okay, and that's going to draw that one for me. And that's 4x add y equals 6. And let's draw the other one here. So I want to go to 0, 4 for 1 point here, and I'm going to go to 2, 0 here. So drawing that line in here, we would get the following, and we could label that one up here as 6x add 3y is 12. And we can see where they intersect. They intersect here, which looks like the coordinates 1, 2. So I'm thinking the answer here is x is 1 and y is 2. Let's check. 4 times 1 is 4, add 2 is 6, works there. 6 times 1 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6, 6, 6, 6 is 12. That indeed is the solution. Last one here, pause the video, have a go. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here because they're in the form ax plus by is equal to c. I'm going to let x be 0. When x is 0, y is 10. And I'm going to let y be 0. And when y is 0, x is 10. So it goes through those points. Let's do the same thing here. Now let's let y be 0 here, and be really careful here. When y is 0, negative 2x is going to be 1. Divide by negative 2, we'll get negative a half. And here, if we let x be 0, y will be equal to 1. So if I let x be 0 here, y is equal to 1. And we've got our coordinates to draw. So let's have a go at drawing them. 0, 10 is up here, 10, 0 is over here. That straight line is pretty easy one, like that. This is the line x add y equals 10. What about this one? Well, it goes through 0, 1, so 0, 1 is here, and it goes through negative a half, 0. So negative a half, 0 there. It goes through that one there. So drawing a line between those two nice and carefully, we get that they intersect here, and that looks like it's at 3, 7. So we think the answer here is x is 3, y is equal to 7. Is it true? 3 add 7, 10, certainly. 7 take away 2 times 3, 7 take away 6 is 1, it works there. And that's it. So that's it for this video. Do bear in mind you'd usually be shown the graphs and use them to find the answer. You wouldn't have to draw them as well, but it was good practice. Thanks for watching.